Leading up to October's federal election, we've asked CJOB's Richard Cloutier to highlight and recap some of the major talking points from the campaign trail. We caught up with him right after this week's CEO Sleepout in downtown Winnipeg. Well, thanks for joining us today, because I know you're running on very little sleep. You just participated in the CEO Sleepout. How did that go?
Went really well. We're close to our goal of $200,000 over the last 5 years, almost $750,000 raised to help the homeless in our city. It's a hand up, not a handout.
All right, now let's talk the election. Big week for you and CJOB. You had an exclusive interview with Stephen Harper. What did he talk about in that interview?
10 minutes with Harper. This was at Bison Transport. They led us to another part of the building, surrounded by boxes of paper. They made a little conference room. We talked about the economy, the big issue in this campaign, and for Harper, that would seem to be his issue. He was Prime Minister with the economic downturn in 2008. That announcement they're promising in the next term, if he is re-elected, to create upwards of 1.3 million jobs. I think there's a lot of people in Canada wondering about whether or not their job is sustainable. While the politicians are promising to create the environment to create jobs, what kind of jobs are we talking about here, given the fact that a lot of these jobs are created in the service economy? So not able to answer a lot of those specific questions. We also talked to him about next steps on Capion. Again, upwards of negotiations here. The full interview is on our website at CJOB.com.
Let's talk about the two local candidates have found themselves in some hot water over stuff said in the past that is now resurfaced online.
Yeah, the internet is not forgiving in that way. It has a memory like you and me don't have. In the case of the NDP candidate running against Stephen Fletcher, no surprise here in the sense that the NDP don't have a chance in this. Little surprised that they wouldn't have vetted the candidate a lot more, but you see this in ridings where they have to run somebody, don't expect to win, and then boom, somebody does a little bit of research, leaks the story to a local media or just puts it out there, and boom, you find these embarrassing things. In some cases you can ride out the storm, in other cases you can't, and you have to simply say, you know, you caught me, I'm not running. In the case of Winnipeg South, it's interesting because Gord Giesbrecht, who is running for the Conservatives, they hold that riding. They need to hang on to that riding. They looked at when he was head of a college in Saskatchewan, some remarks he made comparing abortion to the Holocaust in 9/11. And it's one of those situations where for those that support him, they're saying, what's the problem? For those that support a woman's right to choose, they're going, what about this? Giesbrecht has really not responded too much about it. He's going to hang in there because the Conservatives need to retain that riding.
For that full 10-minute interview with Stephen Harper and in-depth election coverage, you can visit CJOB.com.